Oh, and they just started chanting too. Oh, they've started to turn the lights on the squad cars facing this way now.
Hey there, everyone. I'm not sure if you can see us yet or what's going on.
Okay, guys, hear me that
here. I had to take over the duties of running the panel for Eyes on the State because he's out on assignment right now. What's going on out there, Eyes on the State?
Well, we have a protest on Big Bend and 301 in Riverview. There was quite a larger crowd here just a little while ago. Interstate 75 is about a mile down that way. It seems pretty peaceful here, though, all in all. It's pretty quiet. I mean, other than the chanting and stuff that they're having, there isn't any really bad things happening or anything. It's a peaceful protest.
Now, I saw earlier Eyes on the State. For those of you in the chat that haven't or didn't see that, earlier Eyes on the State was covering this, and you had said that the large group of multiple hundreds of people. You had said that the large group had split in half, and some went north, some went south.
That's what it looked like. Yes, is some went actually north, and some were stayed here south at the Big Bend and 301 intersection. Now, I don't see the big group that moves north, but apparently they're over about a mile and a half away from here now, that away, from what I'm understanding.
And we're also here with Captain Awesome today. Captain Awesome, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good to see everybody here. We're going to be chatting about the protest. The ones that went on this weekend, the ones that are still going on. We have some, like I said, right there in Riverview, which is just east there of Tampa. I know there's some going on in Chicago still. There's some going on in Orlando tonight.
Tampa.
There's still going to be some in Washington, D.C.
Tampa tonight, too, also.
Tampa tonight as well.
Yes, sir. Everything's boarded up and shut down around here, too. It looks like a hurricane's going to come through.
Did I see in our group chat, Eyes on the State, I don't know if it was you or if it maybe was GA the Gladiator Auditor, but somebody had said that they closed down 2 Walmarts in that area or something?
Yes, I think that post was, I think GA posted that, I think, but I'm not positive.
So that's crazy. So I guess there was a threat online, whoever sent that chat message out to us, and I guess the Walmarts decided to board themselves up because of that.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing in different states as well. My cousin up in Indiana by Hammond, they worked at the Walmart up there. They closed those down. Up by Hammond, Indiana also, which is just east of Chicago, for those that don't know, right off the expressway there, 8094, which comes into Indiana from Chicago. They have blocked off the exit to the town of Hammond. And by block off, I mean they put 15 feet of stone block up. I mean, there's no way you're going to get through it. It's huge. I wish I had a picture I could show you. But yeah, they've completely blocked off the town from the interstate.
Wow.
Hey, Save the Humans, Tattooed Cupcake, Peanut, Noli, M-Star. Hey, everybody. I just clicked over to the chat really quick just to see what was going on.
Yeah. QLD. I was just about to start doing shout outs. Joe K.
What was going on?
Snap Phase, Ronald.
I was just about to
What's going on, Mr. Rice Crispy?
What's up, fellas? Can you hear me okay, or is there an echo?
Nope, here's perfect. What's going on, Mr. Rice Crispy?
I hear an echo.
Oh, yeah. I hear an echo.
Yep.
I thought that was the crowd of Eyes on the State.
Yeah, nope.
Dr. Barry in the house. What's up? Dr. Barry, you're our only wrench, so you're keeping track of everything. San Joaquin in the house. What's going
How you
on?
doing?
Dr. Barry, you're our only wrench.
San Joaquin.
San Joaquin in the house. Oh yeah, I still hear an echo there, right?
San Joaquin. It may be from my phone too. I don't know.
Let's see. Hold on, I'm gonna mute Crispy and Captain. Say something. Hello, hello. I'm not hearing any echo.
Not coming from my phone.
All right, let's try Rice Crispy again. Hey, Rice Crispy, how's it going, buddy?
Is it picking up?
Not coming from my phone.
Is my
Yeah, it's you.
It is me, huh?
Yeah, I hear it.
All right. Sorry, hang on.
Yeah,
No
see, I'm
problem.
running that Galaxy
How's that?
S20 Plus. That
How's
shit
that?
should go.
Let's keep track here.
No,
I do
can't
not.
hear you guys.
I don't hear any echo. I think you solved it. I don't hear any echo now, Rights.
Yeah, there's no echo for me.
No, it wasn't from you, Captain. You were muted, so it wasn't you. I think we're good. I don't hear it now.
No.
All right. So anyway, while Rice Crispy deals with his technical difficulties there, what are we looking at right now? Eyes on the State.
We are still looking at the peaceful gathering on the corner of Big Bend and 301 in Riverview, Florida.
I don't see too many police officers.
There is 3 right over there that you can see. Just I can't zoom in on the camera, but just over there, there's 3. And then just down that way, about, I don't know, 75 yards, there's 2 more. And then probably about another 100 yards down from there, there's 2 more. No riot gear, no tear gas, no nothing like we saw this weekend in Tampa, and the way that the Tampa PD responded to any of this.
All right, let's try this again. Hear me?
It seems that it's a much more reserved response from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department here than the way that the Tampa police have handled it. It seems to be that they have blocked off the entire area for, well, I don't know if you guys can see the lights down there, but about a quarter mile down there, there is at least a dozen sheriff cars, at least, maybe more, and then several scattered throughout the parking lots around here with random officers in and out of the cars. But it seems to be a much, much more measured response from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department than it was from Tampa PD. Tampa PD came in with military-style gear, in full tactical gear, with riot shields and rubber guns and pepper balls, and they were very tyrannical in their handling of the protests down there. And I believe that's what caused most of the issues that they had in Tampa this weekend, is the way that they responded to the people. Instead of listening to the people and trying to have a communication with the people, or even just letting the people protest, they thought that force was the best option to deal with.
Yeah, everyone go and smash that like button for us. Thank you, Save the Humans. Bang that
What's going
like
on,
button.
guys?
Hey, GA, how you doing? I mean, since we're talking
right.
and stuff here, and I've got all you guys on, I'm
What's
kind
up?
of off from the group just a little bit here, but I mean, I'm pretty close. I'm within, like, I don't know. It looks a ways on there, but it's only like probably 20 feet, 30 feet. I'm away from the people.
We
Somewhere-
appreciate you, bro. And can I say something about that? Eyes on the State receives these media alerts, and I got to thank you, man, for giving me the opportunity to make my first bang story. I just got back from the St. Pete Police Department Training Center,
Oh,
where they
sweet.
were instructing a few volunteer officers who decided to go ahead and strap on some body cams to try it out as a trial phase. They're going to be rolling out like 400 more, but for uniform and non-uniform people, sworn and unsworn, they're having transparency across the entire St. Pete Police Department apparently, in the future. But for now, they have a trial run with a few officers who volunteered, and I got to ask some good questions. The other reporters there, not to disparage them, but they were still focused on the protests. They were like, "So, will your officers turn on the body camera in case of a protest?"
Yeah, right.
Well, the range on them. But I asked them about the qualified immunity going before the Supreme Court, and Chief Holloway had no comment.
No. Well, I'm
No,
glad.
but
You
I
got
want to thank you again,
Yes.
Eyes on the State, for giving me that lead, that scoop.
Yes, you're very welcome. I knew
Also,
that.
thank you for being out there, because I also heard it was baloney, but some guy was like running down the highway towards that demonstration with a gun, and the cops couldn't stop him. I think they were just trying to scare my friend away from it, but he was on Facebook Live. You're out there too.
Yeah. I mean, the
One in
interstate.
Big Bend.
Yeah, the interstate's about a mile down that way or so, give or take.
That's Big Bend, right?
Yes, correct.
There's a Wendy's on the left.
There's a
The
sign
taco
right
bus.
there. Huh?
The Wendy's and the taco bus are up ahead on the left.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're over that way, I think.
Yeah, Rogue Nation and I stopped there. Wasn't that you, Rogue?
News now.
Yes.
Can't you make his
I
screen
believe
bigger and
so.
put us on the side?
Yeah, do
I
that.
sure can. That's a good point.
So on my way back from that press conference, I got a cop watch that turned hairy. The driver of a truck was, I guess, suspended, and his girlfriend, I guess, didn't have a license. And they were a young couple, and they had him in handcuffs until I showed up, and they let him go. And then,
Can't figure it out.
and then the parents showed up and flaked out on me. The father did a cam back for about 15 minutes, and saying, "Why in the world are you filming the police?" I said, "Sir, can you think of one thing that has happened maybe in the last week or so that would justify me doing this?" Freaking moron.
I can't figure out how to make him the big screen.
I found
Yeah,
out
I
that
Side.
his father's name is Robert Charles Atherton III, and he owns a company called Esurgent, and he's a real dick. You'll see. He turned into Fashion Police. He goes, "Look at your poor people clothes." The guy's
Hey,
got a
hey,
Rolex.
Captain Awesome, are you there still?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, Save the Humans had a good question for us. 2 questions. And they said, have 2 questions. Why is a curfew illegal? And how is it not enforceable?
Well,
We don't have the right to assemble. We have the right to travel. As adults, we're not put under a curfew per se. And most times, I don't know if there's the legislative backing for the curfew. We'd have to look at each law individually. But, in times of martial law or times of great distress, like public crisis, like the COVID and stuff like that, there are, legislative acts in place that allow them to do something like that. But
Can I speak?
come out with just like a curfew, like what we're seeing here. So I mean, we have to look at it. It would be illegal if there's no legislative backing to the law. You can't just tell people to do this or do that unless there's some kind of law that goes along with it. That's that due process. The people have to have a voice in what's made law. They do that through their representatives or what have you not. But
hey, that's not cool.
yeah, it's
What?
definitely not cool. But
Oh, wait,
like
can you guys hear me?
yeah, we can hear you right.
Oh, great.
Hey, GA wanted to pop in and say something about that too, George. GA, what were you going to add to that?
I know because they've implemented one in the county that I'm in now. And, I've been kind of heated about it because it's bullshit because nothing extravagant happened here. I think out of the whole time people were protesting over the weekend, there were 7 arrests made due to quote unquote rioting. 1 car had its windows busted out but was able to drive off. And 1 window to a store was broken, and they claimed a local state of emergency under the, I guess, constitutional authority of the sheriff can claim up to a 72-hour state of emergency or put a curfew in for 72 hours, and then they have to go to the board of county commissioners with anything else after that. But yeah, it's crazy. And also there's a lot of people spreading rhetoric on Facebook and stuff. Like I went to a protest yesterday in Auburndale that was peaceful, but then I got home and this morning was reading and people were talking about, posting, sharing memes, talking about how people were going to go out there and we're going to go into the neighborhoods and take back what was theirs. It was just ridiculous. Nothing happened out there. Everybody actually left before the curfew on their own accord, and then as soon as 8 o'clock to leave right away. And then one, which was cool because that they weren't at the one in Lakeland, but I don't think that they were listening to the message, and I think it was more, publicity stunts than anything else.
Can I add to that? Because I read a lot of comments on my live stream post that I posted. People were like, look at them. Look at these criminals acting like criminals. Give them a chance and they'll just act like. There was nothing at all that we saw that was criminal that night. And people were acting like we were in Philly or in Boston. Nobody looted anything. The only violence that happened was there was this really trigger-happy cop that was walking up and down the line shooting people with his shotgun, his non-lethal shotgun. He was getting his rocks off to show his buddies. And we have good footage of it. He shot a guy in the back of the head. The guy was running away. Yeah, maybe some people were throwing water bottles that landed 10 feet away from the line, but nobody was hurt except for
you had me muted. They were just screaming at the cops. You can't mute me like that. Yeah, you
sorry,
can't.
I kept unmuting you. I kept unmuting you to listen for a second.
Yeah, they just came over and they asked the group how long they were going to stay here and what was going to go on. And chants started after that, telling them to get out and leave and go. And they walked back over to the corner over there that they're sitting on now. They were over there. You could see them in the white shirts over there. They came over to the group over onto the other side over there. And it was kind of seeming like they were kind of trying to get them to leave the area and move. And the crowd was not having that. They told them to get the fuck out of here and go back over on the other side and stand there where they were, that they were here peacefully protesting and not doing anything wrong, but expressing First Amendment rights that were guaranteed. And it looks like they're pulling back even farther now and going back into the PDQ parking lot where the other deputies are parked and stuff over there. And it looks like where most of the mainstream media is actually having a news conference over there. Yep, looks like the sheriff's over there now. We're going to go over by where the sheriff is now and catch this news conference. I didn't see him come over.
So
hey,
another point is that it's a government narrative that people are saying, yeah, somebody was killed, but don't.
I turned you guys down so I can't hear anything at this point, so they can't hear you guys talking, but I'm coming over.
Well, my point is that people are complaining about the rioting and looting, and they need to prioritize their outrage. Someone was killed by these murderous thugs, and while 3 others stood by and let him do it.
Exactly. And another thing that I don't get is why if there's people other than protesters that they've identified or they're noticing are the people that are causing trouble, and they're committing criminal acts in front of police in the presence of police officers, why are they not acting and effecting arrest? They don't have problems any other time of the year, fishing like sharks for probable cause.
We got Chad. We got a hanging Chad.
Yeah, hold on 1 second here.
Chad is hanging.
That we have our workforce that's never been more diverse. In the last 2.5 years since I've been the sheriff, our hiring and diversity is 59.8%. We're more diverse than we've ever been from top to bottom. And I think it goes back to who you hire, and it goes back to how you train them. De-escalation techniques, that sensitivity training, that the Florida Department of Law Enforcement mandates you have to have every 4 years, that we have every year. So train, train, train. And then it goes back to how they're supervised. And lastly, it's a culture that you create. Everyone has to know if they come forward, if they see some type of police misconduct. And on the other hand, they have to know that here's the line. There's policies in place. And if you cross the line, you've lost your job.
And hopefully get arrested.
As someone who's around here, I've seen lots of different, community diversity forums.
Yeah, hopefully there's some justice behind that firing.
Exactly.
If there's law violations, he mentioned policies.
Those difficult, really uncomfortable conversations. That's the biggest obstacle. And that's what we do. That's what we need to continue.
I was thinking today, what if like asked or went to the cops just expressed the way policing feel
from
in
mental health
their conversation.
mental health deficiency. So we've been working hard with them the last couple of years about de-escalation. Just because you can doesn't mean you have to. And we'll continue to focus on de-escalation, no different than what you saw in Minnesota. Once those handcuffs were placed on, regardless of how combative a subject has been, it's over. It's done. You have to take a deep breath. Secondly, you have to have policies in place that regardless of how many officers you have around you, if they see something egregious, if they see something criminal like these officers saw and they don't act, they're going to be terminated. They're criminally responsible too.
Thank you, guys.
Fired up here.
What is Save the Humans asking here? I don't know.
He was asking who was typing under the Bolt Action News Group name, so I told him I thought it was you.
Oh, it's me. Yeah, it's me. It's News Now South Florida is currently logged into the Bolt Action News Group.
I definitely want to that'd be great, man. Good job, man. You definitely did a great job. Thank you, my friend.
Get that card.
I'll just sing happy birthday.
He's got us turned down, right? So I don't think he can hear us.
That's the public relations who get a card.
I didn't know it's different. Oh, okay. Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, they might all be different. Sure.
Save the Human says, Bolt Action News Group, you never know who it is. Well, I promise you this, Save the Humans. It's always one of us five.
Okay. All right. It seems to be the press conference over there is over now at this point, so I'm coming back over here. It appears to be, from the way that he was just discussing it, that this is all going to stay peaceful completely over here from both of them on both sides. That was Sheriff Chad Chronister that was just speaking to the press over here, just off the side of the corner of Big Bend and 301 in the PDQ parking lot over there.
Cop-splaining session.
So
I would love to see that video. Is there any way you can tell us where it is or what it is?
What video is?
Peanut said a comment that I saw a news clip where a cop pulled another cop's leg off of the neck of a victim.
Well, we didn't see that Sunday night from the Tampa Police Force in my video, that's for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, Peanut, if you can point us in that direction, I'd love to see it. I'll play it on here.
Yeah. So everybody's pretty much sitting down here for the most part in the center of Big Bend and 301. I mean, it seems peaceful. While he was having his conference, I don't know if you guys could hear it or not, but there were chants of fuck the police, and now they're starting again. Now those chants are starting again. Still pretty peaceful here, though, all in all, I have to say. And it still doesn't seem to have very much of an armed, response here by them. I did hear one of the reporters asking when you guys had muted me. That
Not you guys, that was me. News Not South Florida did that.
If they were going to have pepper spray here or non-lethal weapons, and the answer from the public information officer to that was no. So it seems that it's going to go, peaceful all the way around here, hopefully.
Minnesota supposedly had a peaceful protest today. I'm seeing stuff about it now.
Yeah.
Somebody took a picture of a. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was talking over you at the very beginning. Where did you say?
Oh, Sarasota. They had somebody screenshotted a picture of a state trooper helping somebody on the ground. I guess with their foot hurt.
Jack Brady's son, if you're listening, you're our hope. We're doing this for you. We're doing this for Jack Brady's son.
That's his grandson, I believe.
Or his grandson. Thank you.
Here, what I'll do is I'll mute and then I'll pop the mute off for you guys, okay?
Yeah, that's cool. That way I don't.
Yep, I got you.
Wrong thing. Actually, Eyes on the State, let me ask you a quick question while you're muted, and then you can answer. I've watched a few protest videos this earlier this day, and I saw one of them, and I think it might have been yours, but I saw one of them where a cop actually took a knee with about 5 protesters. Was that your video, or does that sound like you saw that earlier?
No, not on mine. I don't believe I have that on mine.
I wonder whose it was. But I saw it with my own eyes. The cop took a knee with about 5 protesters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a girl asking the cops to do that the other night in Tampa, and one of the cops, a small little Latin girl, was all on board, while her colleagues flanking her were quiet. They didn't answer. They didn't want to do it. I mentioned how cool would that be if they did that, and then I saw like a whole bunch of cops like actually doing that, and they're placating platitudes.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of that, small pockets of it, but I don't see it in the majority of it. And a lot of it, I see tear gas and rubber bullets. And, strangely, there's been pallets of bricks left around cities. They just show up wherever the protesters going to be or where the protesters will be going by. So some of the stuff just doesn't seem as innocent as the government's trying to make it out to be, I don't think. So, I mean, we'll see. I don't know how long these are going to go on. I've been hearing there's conflicting reports.
Okay, it looks like they're starting to organize up just a little bit more here now.
What is it that they're saying, Eyes on the State?
What's that? Say that again.
I believe it's Black Lives Matter.
Yes, correct,
Yeah.
Crispy.
I don't know if I saw my comment when he went live earlier, but I could almost swear that I heard people saying some shady shit, like a small group of people chanting some shady shit, like about
Yes.
burning stuff.
Yeah, I think there was. I think there's been a couple of smaller, it seems like agitators, I guess you could say is the best way to put it. But, you know, they seem to be that they were struck down here by the people pretty quickly, that they wanted this to stay peaceful and nice. So hang on, it looks like we're pulling in now here. Let me pull in. I'm going to.
There are infiltrators in these groups, and there are white supremacist infiltrators.
I think the more
we were accused of being white supremacists when we were walking around in Tampa just because I had a Hawaiian shirt on. They asked me if I was a groiper, which I'd never even heard of until that day. But people are chanting stupid things like "hands up, don't loot." You know, it was clever, but dumb at the same time.
I think people need to keep getting out like this and that shit down with those people coming in trying to slowly and get more people to come out that want to be peaceful. But I don't think
What is this debate going on here with Triceps and Redshirt?
Yeah, we're having trouble hearing this Eyes on the State. Can you give us a brief tutorial? I think he turned our volume down so that they don't hear us.
Arm wrestle.
Jello fight.
So there are two sides to that story in the protest group. Who is Acts 2824? What is she standing for? And what's Triceps doing? I'm sorry, that's me. Girl in the black.
Thank you, Cynthia. We like how we think of it. So those of you that are just joining us, this is Eyes on the State. That's out in Riverview, just south of Tampa, I think is where that is. And he's in the mix. We got the whole group here, all 5 of us. So if anyone has any questions or comments, if anyone wants to jump on, I'll throw the link up again. Come on up and hang out with us.
Check out Eyes on the State's channel. I'm posting it in the.
Yeah, I saw you just did that.
There we go.
We're not really sure what's happening. We can't quite understand everything.
Looks like a tiny tyrant.
Today was people being encouraged to talk to one another, like people talk to black people and see how their struggles are, and vice versa. You know, I don't think I think there's a lot of white people out there that don't even understand that the concept of white privilege. But yeah, the communication has to stay open. That's the only way we're gonna work on this.
Yeah, a lot of people were telling me I'm unsubbed from you because you support the Black Lives Matter movement when they're just causing trouble. I'm like, what do you want me to do? I'm out there covering this protest. You want me to turn around and tell the people who are chanting Black Lives Matter, no, you're about black people only, so you have to get out of here, which they're not. I'm not going to tell somebody that this is my protest, not yours. when did Black Lives Matter stop protesting against police brutality? When did they stop aligning ourselves with our similar beliefs? Because they didn't. And anybody who watches my channel, if you don't like what we're doing, get lost. Scram. I really don't want you to. Well, actually, I do. I want you to watch and learn. But yeah, a lot of people are outraged at our coverage of these peaceful
Sorry,
protests.
I lost you guys there for a second. Okay, so what it seems like is going on now is the mainstream media showed up over here on the side when the crowd was having a discussion, as you guys can see. It sounds like they're talking about going back, going home, making another protest time to do this at. And it looks like the sheriff is over there that I didn't notice before, giving another set of interviews, but I'm really not sure if that's what he's doing in that over there. The police still have their presence pulled back here. They haven't come in to force anybody out to leave or anything yet at this point. It seems like the crowd itself is going to leave on its own accord, reschedule, come back, which means that they may be back here again tomorrow. It may be the day after. I'm really not sure yet at this point, but I am going to stay on it, and we will go from there with what's going on over here.
That's
The
awesome.
best
Thank you so
analogy
much,
was
guys,
the
on the
Black Lives
state.
Matter thing, where people saying all lives matter. Yes, all lives matter, and Black Lives Matter too. The best analogy is the houses. All houses are important and matter, but the one that's on fire is the one that needs to be taken care of.
Yep.
Church. Yeah, I
Shout out to
experienced.
Florida Times on an excellent.
Go ahead, GA.
I'll leave it alone. Yeah, I experienced some of the anger that it was going on with people staying silent in the crowd yesterday. So yeah, that was interesting. I know that you guys have noticed the silence is violence signs and stuff like that too. But there was a girl that literally made a guy like scream George Floyd. She wanted to hear it from him.
Okay, it looks like the media could be heading over this way, along with possibly the sheriff now too. Also, I'm not positive, but it looks like that they're all heading over this way. I don't know. I can see the media coming this way, but I don't see. Nope, the sheriff stopped over there. Okay, so he's not heading over here. It's just the media. I can turn the mic back on again for a minute, but it's just normal conversation going on over here now at this point. Everybody's just kind of here, it seems like.
If you guys are new and don't know GA the Gladiator and haven't subbed to him, I just posted his link in the chat.
And thanks again, Eyes on the State. For those of you, if you are just new and you just popped in here, Eyes on the State is live on scene at the Riverview protest, which is right outside of Tampa, a little south of Tampa. And he's been out there all day. I actually was watching some of his live stream when I was eating lunch. So he's been out there all day supporting the protest and representing the Bolt Action News Group. So thank you so much, Eyes on the State.
Yes, thank you also. Thank you, guys.
Okay. What do we got here? Turn right, turn right, turn right.
And what's that? That's a big news guy.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just coming to get some leftover footage from Eyes there.
Yep. They're always last to the call now at this point, it seems.
He's coming to get Bolt Action's leftovers.
Yep. I don't know who he's with. I didn't see any press tag or anything really sticking out in the open like everybody likes to cry and whine and snot about. Where's your press pass?
We got 49 people watching. 40.
Yeah, when when they see a big camera like that with a light on it, they just don't even ask them guys.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anybody like us with a smaller rig, they're gonna ask us.
Yeah, like this. So I've got my phone and I've got my normal rig here, so that's what I'm running off of.
Yeah.
What a hunk of junk.
I know it is. Make sure you press that donate button so I can get out of that hunk of junk.
Yeah, I was a little late to the press conference today. And
Were you?
yeah, and the sergeant at the door was like, "Oh, wait, who's this?" And my wife made this up for me. Hold on, let me show you guys. Where is it? Well, she made up this press pass out of our old hotel room key from when we were in Louisville. And it said,
You're a little quiet, right?
News group from Bang. And he's like, "Who's this?" And I just held up the badge. She goes, No, he's cool. He's cool. I'm like, "Yes, I am."
Give me a screen for a second.
I love how they don't know how ineffective the press passes are.
I'm literally reading.
Did you guys see Peachy Ryder last night getting arrested for saying, "Hey,
Yes.
I'm media"? And then they said, "Where's your badge?" She said, "Oh, I got it in my backpack." They're like, "Well, turn around, put your hands behind your back." Took her to jail. Anybody see that last night?
I saw that. Yes.
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, she saw a bunch of people get rounded up. She's like, "Oh boy, they're starting to group people up. I'm getting those." And then she saw a couple of people and she followed them saying, "Oh, they look at media." And
Your makeup.
you walk back into their lives. She's crossing the street with the crosswalk, and she starts walking across the street like about 10
I can't hear anything he's saying.
Okay, I've got the sound
Oh, and
open.
then,
I was hoping Wright would be able to translate that for me.
oh, sorry. Yeah, I will.
That was
We can't.
Right.
an interview
He was
that the
talking while that was
local
going
news
on.
Telemundo just did.
Yeah. I actually did a
Snap
little
phase,
Spanish
I
interview on one of
see.
the cops with the body cam today.
Snapface, I see you yelling at me about one audio at a time. Yes, I know. That's me running the audio and the cameras, but I don't want to get yelled at by Eyes on the State again for muting his like I did earlier.
Yeah, I got the. I'm trying to keep it down for you guys. I know how that is. I'm sorry. It's just if something pops off quick, I have no way of being able to tell you to hit it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, Eyes, you're doing a great job, Eyes. You keep doing it. Joe Cool needs the link. Here it comes. Rice Krispie, I think maybe if you adjust your mic a little bit, you're a little quiet and you're right on the verge of feedback and echo. So I don't know. You might need to play around with some of your settings. Oh, I didn't mean you had to go away, but hey. Whoops, what happened? I kicked some. Oh, I tried kicking on Joe and I kicked GA out. GA, I kicked you out by accident, buddy.
I told you didn't like you, GA. What's up, man? Steak was good, baby.
Let me just say something real quick.
Here.
Let me just say something real quick because I don't know if GA heard me. GA, I think I kicked you out by accident when I tried to click on Joe. It all happened like all at the same time. So I apologize. So get back in here. Unless you kicked yourself out, then that's not my fault. So what's up, Mr. Joe Cool?
Hold on, that's Jeff texting me. You know I be cheating on Jeff when I come over here. Hold on. Tell him I'm talking to you, kid. He know he'll understand. He know I did, y'all. So I tell him I'm over here. I shouldn't get no shit if I tell him I'm over here.
He's jealous. He tracked you down.
Yes, he's jealous as fuck, yo. He's horrible with that shit. Listen, y'all just too peaceful and too nice and too professional. I gotta stir the pot some. And it's hard because you niggas are very civilized, very professional. But let's see what I can do. I wish GA was still here too. First of all, I heard the shit I was talking about was on point. The taking a knee shit. I don't know. Everything is turning for the positive, in my opinion. Things are turning for the positive. However, I gotta say, if I'm being honest, I've been doing a lot of. I was happy to see the radical shit, bro. I was happy to see the radical shit. I was happy to see the radical shit. I wanted to see shit go up. Now I didn't loot. I wouldn't loot. I wouldn't set nothing on fire. In fact, I think I prevent another person if they try. But in my opinion, I can't have word you're saying, right?
We can't hear anything you're saying, right, Crispy?
I said, what if that person got hit in the back of the head with a beanbag and they're really pissed off, so they throw a trash can through this thing like Radio Raheem? Don't hurt him. Don't do anything or stop him. Let him get his aggression out.
Oh, that was dope. I wasn't expecting that shit either, right? Hold on. You making me thirsty. I'm gonna go get some water. I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna leave y'all out. Somebody steal my fucking phone. I expect y'all to chase them down.
You guys remember Radio Raheem? Rest in peace.
Hey, that's Chicago. I'm not taking any responsibility for.
Did you guys see that video? I think you sent it to me, right, Crispy? In that, there was that one that you took off of Reddit, maybe, or something, and it was one that big long string of videos, I think, where the cop grabbed the guy's phone and threw it, and the guy knocked the cop out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Beautifully out.
That dude was out bad. Like, one of the other cops went over and
Like
dragged
that.
him across the ground.
Listen, that is swift justice right there. That is eye to eye. You know what I mean? Like,
Done. Mutually agreed combat.
exactly.
He lost. He started with smacking a phone. He got smacked to the ground. He followed that phone.
The cop that got knocked out.
Yeah.
Sleepy.
And then they didn't even catch the guy because, well, at least I didn't see it in the video. I saw the guy run off.
Yes, look like he got
to pick up his phone.
What about?
Did you see the one who clocked the guy on the basketball court and ran off? He fought off two cops.
No.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, I'll show you
What
guys
about
that
the
one.
drop kick? Yeah, show us that. Y'all see the drop kick?
Hold
The
on.
cop choked dude, and he ran away. And then when the cop turned around, he ran back over there and drop kicked him. That was dope too. I'm loving this shit. I know it's wrong, but I'm loving this shit.
No,
And if
yeah.
I'm being honest,
It's the collapse.
and if-
It's like
If
a
I'm being
train wreck.
honest,
You can't
bro.
look away.
And not only that, if I'm being honest, I know history well enough. I'm sure Rogue and you niggas are bright enough to know that these peaceful protests, they didn't really get nothing done until some idiots stick the dog on them or shot a kid with a water hose or they broke some until they got violent. So in the back of my head, I'm like, you know, it might not be so bad. Is that shitty?
Not at all.
Oh, it's killing me, bro. But I'll be.
It's
like,
actually
man,
brave of you to speak your
what's up,
mind.
dude? It's got to get worse before it gets better, right? I don't want to see nobody hurt, but that blood of tyrants also includes blood of patriots. That's the latter part, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all saw the video, I believe it was in Chicago, where it looked like protesters were pulling cops off of other protesters, and they kind of drugged the one cop by his vest for a second, and then let him go and left him alone. But everybody, like the media, aired it like he was like assaulted and beaten and stuff like that. How come they don't call it assault when they're shooting people with rubber bullets?
A great point, right? Great point. Like the shit at the White House when they decided that Trump needed to take a photo op, and they just spraying, nonviolent protesters. Man, how was that not a crime? Because he wanted to take a fucking picture. I'd go to jail for it.
I think the same thing happened out here where I am. You know, a few people got rowdy, and one incident happened, and then they it showed up in force and started firing out tear gas and chemical agents at them to get them to disperse. But
Hey,
nothing
have
was really
y'all seen this? Have y'all seen this? In my neighborhood, the cops know me. They have never been nicer. They run to say, "Hi, Joe. Cool. Hey, Joe. How you doing?" I think they like, you know, if this jump off over here, this cat might be able to benefit us, or if we
Yeah.
treat him wrong, we're gonna get attacked. I think
Yep.
you know it is so crazy now. They are so kind and courteous to me. It's crazy. I think it's because they're afraid that if that nigga say, "Fuck y'all, get them," they're gonna be in trouble.
Yep. I'm sure you're right, Joe. I'm sure that's what's happening. You know, now that there's a lot of us auditors out there and cop watchers out there, a lot of these police stations are putting memos out about how to behave when they see certain people or certain camera equipment. You know, I actually, you were saying that happened to you. I had my very first experience, not in the middle of a protest, but I had a similar experience when I went to do records requests. A sergeant came out to clarify some of the stuff I was looking for and being all polite.
Very good.
And then he even said, he's
Yo.
like, "Yeah, I've seen some of your videos. You know, I've watched what you do." So, and that was right here in my hometown. So I know they're watching my stuff.
Noli just put in chat that the police have been sending memos around to Neil if you know if they get in trouble to take a knee, because that would work with us. That
Yeah, I
would
think
work.
so.
With me.
Yep,
Check out
right
that
before
link
you
that
got
I
on-
just put up.
What's that? Do what?
The link in the chat.
Well, I can say what's working over here right now for them at the protest that I'm at right now is they've stayed completely
I
away
see it,
from
right.
it. They
Yeah,
haven't
I put it
come
in the
near
our
pretty much
private
this
chat, not
protest
in the.
I would say 2 hours, and it has stayed absolutely peaceful the whole entire time.
In the studio chat, the StreamYard studio chat.
I got it.
Where-
You want me to put it up?
Yeah, I think Joe Cool is gonna love this. This is what you wanted to see. I think everybody's gonna love this.
Here's the link, but let me actually open it. Let me see. Hold on one second.
I can't lie, Eyes on the State. I heard what you said, but I couldn't give a fuck if the protest goes bad. Niggas bust windows, knock a cop down. I'm okay with all that. I'm not gonna bullshit you. I don't want to see a nigga die. I don't want to see a nigga lose property. But fuck that. Nobody been saying nothing forever while these niggas been literally putting a knee on my neck. Y'all, not y'all, but motherfuckers act like this the first time that shit happened. I've been watching that shit happen all my fucking life.
Did you see my video on Sunday not Sunday, it happened Sunday night, but I released a video yesterday of them with a knee in somebody's back.
I don't know if I saw that or not.
Yeah, check that one
There
out.
you go.
I just put it out yesterday. They did it Sunday night.
All right, I'll check it out. All right, I got it blown up.
That was
guys.
after my 360 that you gave the ha 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 to.
I remember that one.
Check this out, Joe.
I forgot to share the sound. Hold
I'm
on.
watching.
I gotta do it
I'm
again.
All
I
right.
forgot to share the sound. Hold on. Let me try that again. I
Hey,
forgot
while
about
you
that
doing,
checkbox. There's a little checkbox that you have to click to share the sound, and I
Yeah.
always forget about the damn thing.
What's up, GA?
while he's doing
let
a good quote
Go ahead,
that
GA.
I saw and shared. A good quote that I saw and shared on Facebook was all the people complaining about the rioting. Just ignore it like you did the events leading up to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow, I like that.
Body slam from the top rope.
Oh, that was dope. I'm still in that GA. I'm still in it today.
I can't take credit for it. It was somebody else's.
You
That
stole
is
it.
good. I like that. All right, we're gonna play this video that Rights Crispy wanted us to play. Let's see what this
All right,
is.
I'm watching.
Here
Oh,
we
that's the
go.
cop there. The two cops said, okay, let's do this.
You saw this?
No, I just heard y'all talking about it.
Oh yeah. Watch this.
You guys hear it?
We aliens, bro.
Kind of low, but I'm outdoors. I can barely hear
kinda
it.
choppy.
Barely hear it too. I think the
Well, you
sound
don't have to
quality-
hear anything. Forget
Right.
hearing it. Just watch.
Okay. All right.
It's very choppy. I don't know.
Still there. Nice.
Clean.
Listen,
Nice.
let's
Get
start
out of here. You want some? You want some?
Y'all know we grow up like this, right? We have to practice fighting every day when you're young.
take it.
Bye.
And then he broke, baby.
What happened?
I don't know.
It's my internet.
Okay, guys, it does look for the most part that people are kind of heading out of here now and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump down out of here. If something else goes on in the next couple of minutes before I leave, I will hop back in. If you guys are still on when I get home in just a few, I will jump back in the stream.
Hey,
All right, yeah.
That sounds good. Eyes on the State, thank you so much for being on assignment today.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Yes,
That
thank
was
you
pretty
guys
awesome.
also. Appreciate everybody. Thank you. I will see you all very soon.
right.
Stay with him and say, get that guy rock.
Did you guys see the one that James Madison put out? I sent you that link also, but it was the one where the cops shoved
them
down
shoving
the
the
old
old
man.
guy?
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
cane. He had a cane on, so it's like obvious you don't shove that guy around. And they did it.
I also heard that a small woman got knocked over by a horse. I haven't seen either one of the videos. I just
yeah, I
woke up.
saw
Yeah,
that.
that's in there. They got trampled, and then another lady was just taking her groceries home, and they shot her in the forehead with a thing. She had her
Rubber bullet.
hands. Yeah.
Snapface, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you.
Prego.
That dude, I wonder if they ever caught that guy that was running away after beating those two cops up. That was funny.
I saw the one y'all
You go.
showed. I've been talking about the one where they pepper sprayed that lady at the on her porch and her door open. And I just saw the one that I think that was you guys showing where some guy was like on his balcony or something. They spraying motherfuckers just like willy nilly.
Did you guys see the Resistance 2 nights
Oh
ago?
my God, he been killing.
That was epic. The guy
When
went
they
out there
sprayed
and
choked and shit, that was
inspired the demonstration. Like they
it was like
pepper sprayed him like 3 times. He's walking around with a booger on his chin hair for half the video.
yes.
But he was a champion, man. I talked to him. I was so proud. I was like, I had no words.
I know,
I had
right?
no words.
Make sure you click on the YouTube link if you want to jump on the panel. We got an open spot. Come on up.
Yes, Resistance did well. That whole crew was out there too.
Yeah, he put out another video today of him at a hospital, and then cameras everywhere showed up backing him up. He's like, "What happened here, guys? Are you guys calling the police on the black man with a camera? Is that what's happening?" He called them out, bro.
This, guys? As motherfuckers who post bids, as auditors, some of us are cop watchers. The game has changed, right? I can't even post a bid of a traffic stop. I mean, I could, but you know, I was hesitant to do that shit before. If it's just if nothing happens. I mean, now the competition out here. When I hop on a computer, every motherfucker got 100 niggas in their room, and it says some type of protest, some type of rally. Y'all see the game changing somehow. I had 1,000 niggas in my room and 10,000 on Twitch. I shut it down with 800 niggas in my room. That only happens because of this riot shit.
Right.
Bro, he got
Well,
7,000 people watching him at one point. 7,000. It's amazing.
I saw that.
I think it's absolutely fantastic, Joe. I think that all of us that are in this movement, if you will, are in it for the same reason. You know, maybe some of our priorities shift from time to time within our journey through this movement, but all of us want to be in a self-defeating business. We want to work our way out of having content. I mean, at least that's what we all started.
Yes. I always say if I can get 10 in a row with when motherfuckers was not disrespectful, I could retire. What about this? what accompanies that is our shit is already dangerous. Whenever I die to door, I have to say I might not come home. I might go to jail. But what about now? Surely it's more dangerous now. Yesterday, PG got knocked. Mr. Chicago, Resistance them got gassed. That whole crew, you know, it's more dangerous now. I got chased. I got thrown. You know, I'm too old to be out here running from these niggas, man. Isn't it more dangerous now as well? Even that shit Eyes was just doing, it could turn crazy. A nigga in the crowd, one of the protesters now. Did you see what happened to Diswally? Diswally came over here in my neighborhood. He got rolled bad. He got beat up by like 15 motherfuckers.
What?
They took $1,000 from him. Then he had to go to the ATM and withdrew another 300 and shit. It was brutal. And the police were there. He was hanging with the police thinking he'd be safe. When they saw the guy hit him, they got in their car and left because they don't like him. And, you know, if you see him, you know, his face is all messed up and shit. It's dangerous out here now.
Oh, man.
The game is changing.
Man, he's a big boy, man. So they had to take like 15 of them, though, huh?
It was literally, say, 15 of them niggas. And here's
Look
where
at
he's a pimp. He didn't leave without his phone. Even after that 10-minute beating and he thought his orbital bones were broken and all that, he knew his job. I got to have my phone. So
if I got to die, I'm going to die with bloody knuckles. That's right, man.
A guy picks up a phone and throw it on the ground. Here, your phone. He pick it up. It wasn't even his phone. It was one of the guy's friends' phone that fell out of his pocket. He broke his buddy's phone. So this only stayed that he was like, I'm not leaving without my phone. He went and withdrew another 300 and they paid for his own phone after they robbed him for a stack. The world is fucking weird. Wow. And because he's a friend, I just got off the phone with him before I ride with you cats. I'm like, I need you to get back on that horse. He's back out, but he's riding around. He's not really getting out the car. I need him to come back in my neighborhood. You know how it is. If you wait too long, you'll be afraid.
Nice.
At least I think.
News Now, South Florida. I just saw that.
Sorry, I just had to show that person that no, it's not a blunt. I'm smoking.
Hey, man, tell him we're waiting for him to come back to the. You know, that he's a champ.
Yes. Right.
Did you guys see TA's comment that I put up? If our message is getting out, most people will start recording every police interaction they see. I hope it comes to that, especially with agencies bypassing the body-worn cameras.
Very good, Jay. I would agree, right? I think we all probably been trying to preach that message, pull your camera out. But I hope y'all remember in South Florida, you know enough where you probably still felt that shit. You know how nervous motherfucker used to be pulling out a camera on a cop? I probably shook the first 30 times or something. I had to calm my adrenaline down. That shit ain't easy. People think they're gods.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that probably would. There's probably a lot of people out there that would take out their camera and would film police interactions. But I think you're right, Joe. I think you're and it's too afraid to do that. They're afraid of the repercussions. They're afraid of whatever retaliation the cops will have.
Right. And they're not like us. I know that legally, if I'm on the sidewalk, how much distance, what I can say, what I can do. They don't know all this intricacies and shit that we know. They're not sure if they're on firm footing or not. I'll step on a public sidewalk and be like, suck my dick. I ain't going nowhere. They don't know that. They think he still has power over them.
Right. Yep. And I think another part of it, Joe, is that, whatever percent, let's say 75, I'm just making up a number, 75% of the times that you're driving around and see cops is going to be in your own hometown. And I think a lot of people are even more afraid to do stuff like that in their own hometown.
I'll tell you something else.
You don't see it. Go ahead.
Somebody pointed out to me earlier, disorderly, in fact, when we were talking about it, because we get like stupid respect now. But he was like, you remember when we were stuck in the 3000s and shit like that? That's when they still feel like they can retaliate against you. They want to fight. Of course, when you start breaking 10 and 15, their friends are even telling them, man, I saw you on Joe Cool video. You look like shit. So they stop. But when you're still low, they feel like they can attack you over and over, man. And that's a good point. A regular guy ain't even got 3,000. So he's going to be afraid, some nigga on the street.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Now you got to elaborate on one thing here, Joe. Do you actually have a personal story where a cop called another cop and said that I saw your video on Joe Cool's shit? You looked horrible, or did you just make
Listen.
that up? If you have a real story,
listen. I think I got more cops tell me they watch my vids than people on the street, right? Every cop tells me that shit. And so I'm assuming they're telling their buddies, you better calm down. You see, he only went in on that cop or that cop. Me and Joe, cool. We ain't got no problems. I think that's the conversation they have. Now when I walk down the street, cops roll down and went, no, Joe, what's up, baby? What's up? Or they give me pounds and shit. You know, it used to be, get away from here. Get off my corner. It's crazy. I just went because our shit went up in flames a couple nights ago, like bad. Like you can't even ride down the street now because they all looted or burned and busted out every 3 blocks. The corners just look like something in Beirut. So even the cops went to the border of the city, which is where one of my guys was at. He needed a jump. All the cops from my neighborhood and around here were lined up at a gas station, social distancing, so they're 6 feet apart, which make the line look enormously long. And I run in there, my guy, he needs a jump. And a lot of the cops come over and start giving me pounds and shit. And they go back over there and you can hear, is that Joe Cool? Is that Joe Cool? That time of shit, then they all come over. That shit doesn't happen without months. I'm a year in now, standing on the ass, blah, blah, blah. I get the respect I should have got day one. They should have been like that day one.
The respect everybody Sorry, that's the respect everybody should be getting.
Agree. Where the fuck rights go? I was finna text him this photo that I took downtown that I'm crazy about. I don't think I got UCAT's number so he can show it, so he can screen share it. Is rights and GA? I got both of their info. Is either one of them still in the chat?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Hold on. I gotta ignore UCAT's because I'm not talented. I'm finna find the photo and text it to GA and rights, I guess.
One commandment says the cop who killed George Floyd is arrested and will go to prison because of a camera phone. And we certainly hope that's true. It looks like that might be true, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. You know, there's conflicting reports on the autopsies. Of course, the county coroner came back with an autopsy that said it wasn't asphyxiation. It was a combination of toxins in his body, underlying health conditions, and the police restraint.
They did say it was homicide though before they put all those all that bullshit in there. They did say it was homicide. However, one of them said it was asphyxiation, and one of them said it was all these other things that contributed.
But let's be honest here. Let's say he does go all the way to trial. What we're looking at then is simply what, 3 years, 5 years, maybe? I mean, we know he's going to get some lackluster sentence because that's what happens in these cases. You know, when they do finally get to go to court, they
know
get
about what they charged them with. That's their intent. You know by what they charged them with. That's their intent. Right, they charged them like
murder in the 3rd degree.
3rd degree murder or manslaughter. So they're showing their intent. They didn't and now they waited too long. They did that one. They had that first day they got all 3 of them guys. They might have had a chance of stopping people. But this is more. This is no longer even about George Floyd. This ain't even about all the cops going to jail. They could have did that and tricked us again. By now, it's about a system that allows cops to treat us like shit. All races are joined in on that now. Right, so I just text you a photo. Can you share it with the guys?
He's having technical difficulties looking through his beer goggles.
I know, right? It happens.
What email is Save the Humans looking for?
What female?
What email for Save the Humans?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. So let us know what you want. Save the Humans. We'll shoot it to you.
You can always email.
Absolutely.
The two things that
the two things that come up most often in any conversation when it comes to police accountability, the two things that come up the most often are obviously getting rid of qualified immunity and making them have to insure themselves so that they're not protected so much by the union. And if those two things happen, I'm responding to this guy here, sorry. And if those two things happen, then it would be way, way better.
I would agree. In fact, I think it's not a lot of shit that we all agree on, but that's two things that's pretty much universally held in amongst cats like us. That qualified immunity shit, and making that part of that shit come out their own fucking pockets. Something else I just wanted to ask you, Catch. Oh, check this out. The bar. That's some shit I've been talking to a lot of cats about. The bar is really strong. And technically, these niggas are the ones creating these laws as opposed to going through Congress and shit by setting precedents or making decisions. They are, in effect, creating law, and it gives them power.
Yeah, that's right,
These
Joe.
are the next police union. These are the next cats we might have to go after.
Well, here's something else, Joe, that you got to think about. Most of the legislators in Congress are ex-lawyers.
Yes.
Okay, so they're bar members also. But do you think Nancy Pelosi sits down and writes that 400-page law that she wants to enact? That she
not even
the House? Yeah,
no, some paralegal making $10 an hour does it.
Yes.
Well, no, they have a legal team that writes those laws.
I think Rogue was going in a different area, though. Yeah, go ahead, Rogue. I think.
Yeah. They have a team of lawyers that sit around and write those laws up. So basically, we're a country ran by lawyers. 60, 70% of the legislator. A lot of times, the executive branch, like Obama was a lawyer. The Clintons.
The Clintons are lawyers. And all of our politicians and everybody throughout our legal system is.
And the judicial system obviously is all ran by bar certified attorneys, lawyers, judges.
Yes, the judges that you go to for your man, I'm blowed. It don't pay to talk after you get high like that. I swear it don't. But for redress, the same lawyers, and I'm sorry, judges, they expect you to go to for redress. They're part of the bar. That's like me going to a cop saying, "Help me, your friend smacked me around."
Right. Well, now here's something that's even worse than that. In most states, in order to be a lawyer, you have to pass the bar, which is put out obviously by the State Bar Association. Right. Now, the bar is a union, just like, say, the Teamsters are, or the union for the police. Now, when a lawyer breaks his ethics, he doesn't go before like a state board or anything like that. He goes before the bar. And the bar is the one that would dismiss him from being a lawyer.
I've looked at their punishments, man, for a long time, their disciplinary measures. And in Chicago, you can do some horrible shit, and they got like a 4-tier system, and they only take like 1 star from you or something like that. They don't even damage you. I mean, for our worst offenders, the ones, the reason I started doing this is because when I voted for judges, I wanted to see their backgrounds and shit, and I'm thorough like that. So, every one of them I've been through. I mean, that's way too many. And all the ones, the worst cases were penalized in the least way possible, if at all. I mean, it's horrible. There's no punitive damage, no redress with the bar for a corrupt judge.
Right. Yeah. A lot of times judges have absolute immunity.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure this thing I'm scrolling through will go on. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure this thing I'm scrolling through will go on forever, but these are politicians who were formerly lawyers.
And I would agree it would go on forever.
I mean, look at this.
How about Trump saying that trying to encourage people to bring in the military and shit? What is that about, man? How fucking insane is that?
No state
People like
has
that
anything
like
where
Martial law shit.
they will never ever be able to like legally do that, but they could illegally do it. And
Before we even go to that, I'd like to know, what do you think about that coming out of motherfucking mouth? He obviously didn't go to law school. You know, Obama and Clinton, them, they're at least smart enough to never even say that shit, even if they consider it. Because, you know, I think he just made ground. I thought the day before when he was like, put the dogs on him, I thought the optics alone, this nigga's insane. And the next day, like, we going to bring in the military if you don't act like, my God. That's not as amazing to you cats as it is. Absolutely amazing. What type of person have we got in the bed with? You can't even say shit like that. You are the protector of our Constitution. You suck at it.
Hopefully, it's not going to be another Kent State National Guard shooting. Episode there. You know, you got to be careful. Like Wright said, obviously the legality, illegal use of the military on American soil. But I mean,
they already did it.
Yeah, it's very emotional.
I was gonna say, do y'all think? I think the National Guard may not be okay, man. That's just a end around to get past using the military against the people. Am I out on a limb with that or what?
No, it already happened on the border, man. You know, thank God they didn't do anything there. But if they would have, just like in this situation, and this is a much more volatile situation than people who are dragging their butts, hundreds of miles seeking asylum. It's people who are ready to fuck them up. I mean,
hey,
and some stupid kid could just follow those unlawful orders from the lieutenant. And like I said, the lieutenant is not going to see anything about it. The PFC is going to suffer, and he'll suffer the consequences that of what ends up happening after that. People.
What will happen? Because nothing will happen to cops. What would happen? I'm not familiar with the military.
Well, we have, how we're not supposed to have a standing military on our own land, and we kind of have that with over-militarized cops. Well, this is totally cutting out that little, like, skirted puppy of the militarized cops and actually putting the fucking military against the Constitution.
And I'm saying, what happens when one of them military
no state of the union has anything, correct me if I'm wrong, that says that the military can supersede the state's laws in these situations. In martial law,
that's correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
But theoretically speaking, this thing occurs. Some private kills a citizen while he's out here on the street. What happens?
Colonel Hapablap is not going to suffer about anything about that. He's the one who thought it up, and he's not going to have a problem. It's going to be PFC from Kentucky.
Listen, because I'm wondering, cops get away with it for years. In Chicago, we just had our first cop get convicted, and it was a travesty looking at it. I was mad. But they get away, and historically have gotten away with murder. I wonder if they won't find a way to do it for the military too. If they did put them out in the streets, the National Guard, they murder niggas and do wrong, they probably get slapped on the wrist like police do.
Listen, in a state of emergency, they're able to bring in the National Guard, just like in the hurricanes down here, the ones that went through in 2004. I mean, right behind the place I was working at was the state area, and they had troops out there with M16s because, power was out for like 2 or 3 weeks. And back where I worked right behind there, that's where all the power companies staging their trucks, right? And there were people that had gone through and made threats against the power company because their power was still off 2-3 weeks later. And they ended up bringing in the National Guard. They ended up bringing in the National Guard to protect them.
They are here, and they've been threatening them, but I haven't seen them. I think that they are realizing that cats here are out of Whoa.
Hang on, Joe. Hang on, Joe.
All right, I love this video.
Get in your house now. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Mrs. Awesome broke this story.
Light him up. Go inside now. Get in the house.
Somebody said light him up.
Get in, get in, get in, get in, get in, get in. Get in. Oh, God, that hurt.
Rogue, don't I have the right to shoot that nigga back, at least with a paintball? And when he used real guns, me and my neighbors have the right to kill him?
You know, that's tricky, brother. That's tricky.
Hear what I said. Hear what I said. He shot, yes, he shot paintballs. We shot him back because we play paintball. We shot him with paintballs, not pepper spray. They pulled out real weapons. Me and my neighbors came out and laid them to waste. Is that certainly is justified? Is that not morals? Is that not the right cause of action?
You know, I would be
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, I would say I would be behind you 100%. But you know, again, what we're fighting
the world
is the corrupt system. You know, and in the corrupt system, chances are you would be at fault. You know, they find technicalities, they find ways around shit. You know why? Because they write the laws. You know what I mean?
And then that's what disturbs me, Rogue. I realize you and your whole team are good at this, but going through them, the same people we have to complain with, follow their system for redress. I have a real issue with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, everything's set up in their favor.
I saw this too, yes.
And it's always been like that.
This camera angle, though.
Yeah, this camera angle is the better one. You're gonna see a cop. Can you see my arrow too, or no?
Yeah, I see it.
Can you see my arrow?
Yes, but look beneath the police cars.
So you're gonna see a cop car come here, but don't focus on that one. Focus on this one. And watch this guy.
He still has an opportunity to just back up.
So focus on the top cop car, not the lower one.
Woo!
What?
They were saying, do you think he did that on purpose?
Here, hold on. Okay, now I could almost see a police department justifying slightly that this guy, he's trying to get to a call, he's trying to get somewhere, he's trying to get through the section. I get that. But what this guy did here, there's zero excuse for that. There's no reason for that.
Yes, and as far as that justification for the other guy, I know that currently there's justification for something like that, but I would like to see them say those people are gods. We can't hurt one motherfucker to go theoretically protect another.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Right.
Right. Do you got that? Is right? See, yeah, you got that picture I sent you, man. Put it up here. Let me show the guys. The technical difficulty problem having so and so.
He's probably grabbing another beer.
Yeah, I'm not the one that's got him muted, so he muted himself. So
all right.
I muted myself this whole time. Wow.
You can unmute yourself even if you
I have you muted. I didn't mute you.
Yeah, no, I saw myself muted. I was like, this motherfucker isn't letting me talk this whole goddamn time, and now he's even asking. I mother flowered you so many times.
Right. You do know you can unmute yourself even if he does it, right?
Yeah, I accidentally hit that when I came back in.
All right. I've seen niggas sit there for a long time when the host mute them.
No, I was saying you saw that. That's one of the clips that I sent you. Also, the second and third clip are of that tiny tyrant player 2 guy.
Oh yeah, that's horrible. I'll play that one next, right here. The one appearing to enjoy himself. That one.
Oh, what do you mean? He loved it. Not appearing to. He
had
a little tiny boner.
I was saying that was the title of it.
Yeah.
All right, here's this one. Check this out. This guy acts like an absolute crap. All right, here we go.
There's no sound.
Oh, I forgot to hit the sound. Yeah, that was me. I did that again. I always forget to hit that little tiny freaking checkbox. I always forget it. Damn.
I've never done it, but I've heard other people say you forgot to share the sound.
Oh my God, I forget every single freaking time. All right, so here it is.
I command you to immediately disperse. Everybody move westbound outside the Cross Street towards City Hall.
This dude here is such a tool.
Look at him.
Hey, think about it what I said. And this is funny to them. They're smiling. This is funny to them. They're having a blast out here. They have smiles on their faces. Hey, man, what's up? Let that shit up.
Obviously mentally disturbed, and like so many of them, but that's pretty like obvious.
That shit is funny.
And then there's a second one with him too, right?
Yeah, where that guy says "fuck you" to him, and the cop, the little tiny tyrant, is saying "bitch, bitch," and then the guy says, "Well, fuck you," and that was enough. The guy saying "fuck you" to him was enough for him to like creep around his partner, like the big dude, and shoot a fucking round at the guy. He shot him, dude, for saying "fuck you."
Yeah, I got it. I got it. It's coming up. I'm opening it a second time because I forgot to hit the little again.
Yeah, the sound is important on this one.
The other night downtown, this cop, and he was arguing at a teenager, a young teen, and the guy, they were dispersing the crowd. Everybody was backed up. This kid was kind of far, and they were yapping at each other. So they had separated, and they were even further out in front. And the rest of the police had stopped pushing everybody, but he had it in his head he gonna aggravate this teenager. So he stopped when he looked and saw how far he was, and he was like, "Yeah, you say what you want, just keep backing up, back your ass up." And the teenager stopped, say, "Fuck you, fuck your white ass." When he said your white ass, the cop immediately rushed in on him, and I was like, "Hey, don't do it, don't escalate, de-escalate, de-escalate." And he stopped because he knows that language, in my opinion. And he stopped and he bagged up. But he was going to attack that kid because that kid called him white. That's that mob mentality. It's okay. I can get away with shit out here. That's sick.
Yep, I think you're right. All right, here we go. Here you got this one here. Oh. That's him still right there. I think he said it already. I think right at the beginning he said something about bitch. Something.
Yeah, the cop did.
Shut up, bitch.
Dude, your shit is so choppy.
Oh, is it? I thought that was the video. No, that's the video.
No, bro, you didn't even show him creeping around his partner shooting. Rewind.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good video. That wasn't my fault.
It's you. It's your fault for living out in the middle of nowhere.
1, 2, 3, not it.
Hey, man, I'm doing my best here.
Yes, thank you very much.
No, you're doing a great job.
Rogue will call me to me like, "You see that shitty job Rice did? South Florida did."
That's all right.
Those guys suck, Joe.
Did you see the CNN guy get shot and arrested? rubber bullet shot and arrested?
I didn't see
I
that.
saw the brother get arrested a few days ago. No.
Why, you got that one
Right, I
queued
like
up?
you share that
Yep, I
picture.
got it queued up. I'm getting there.
Yeah, your number, South Florida. Let me see if I got your number, bro.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Share screen, share audio. It's like
I'm too lazy.
10 different damn things you got to click.
That's what she said.
Going and go where you gotta go, and that's fine with us.
Hey, Leslie.
Are you okay? Katie, are you okay?
Rubber bullets, rubber bullets. It's okay. It's those pepper bullets. It's those.
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
Nice shooting at the photographer.
Like directly at us.
They don't give a
Why
shit.
are they doing that?
Shooting at our crew.
Because you have cameras.
Do they
Yeah.
not know that? Obviously, they see the camera.
Right. Nigga, that's a
Obviously,
threat
you
to
don't
them.
get
That's
it.
not a good thing. Right. Are you crazy? That's the thing that make them attack you. At least that's how I feel.
Yo,
Did y'all know they did a show on Cop Watchers? It was on BET. And I was enthused. I couldn't wait to see it, but they had the most docile fucks in the world. Are the ones they chose to follow. The most they weren't the most Uncle Tom ass niggas, but man, these niggas got out there with docile. They get out of 2 and 3 cars. The police never misbehave. It just was a failure, in my opinion. I would have loved to saw them find a way around it. I would have loved to see them show different shit. You know what I'm saying? Show a motherfucker strictly cop watching, niggas strictly all in the motherfucker that do both, the motherfucker that do extremes, the motherfucker that's at the hospital, you know, the motherfucker that's at the transit station, because that's not, in my opinion, that's not firm footing. These are the things they should have concentrated on.
true.
Yeah, I wish y'all saw that shit. I'd love y'all opinions and shit, but you niggas don't watch a lot of BET, do you?
I do not.
True.
Back in the day when I had cable, I did sometimes, but
Yeah, back in the day.
I was
But
gonna say I don't even watch that shit now. I don't know nobody watch this shit now.
that's like MTV. Who watches that shit anymore?
right, right.
Who watches that shit now, right? MTV.
How come they never renamed that shit? It it used to be music television, but about 20 years ago, it stopped being music television. How come they still kept the name music?
I couldn't catch a video on there to save my life in the last 20 years, man. It's all reality shows and shit.
I miss watching my Headbangers Ball at midnight on, I think it was Saturday nights or something.
Yeah.
That's right, buddy. Saturday
miss
night.
rock.
Sunday
Yeah.
night.
I miss rock music, period. It disappeared. Where's rock
And
music?
I remember
What
when it
happened
first
to it?
launched. I was young, and my older cousin turned it on, and they had the same videos playing over and over again.
Oh yeah, it was
There's,
always Dire
John
Straits,
Mellencamp, Hurt So Good, Joan
Yes.
Jett and the Blackhearts.
Like David Bowie.
I Love Rock and Roll.
Dire Straits, and the
But then
Money
you
for
remember
Nothing.
at the time when niggas like Sheena Easton, Billy Idol, Twisted Sister, you remember breaking
Yeah,
all
man.
these new guys that did different genres, Pat Benatar, all these different genres started popping up. That was so cool. That was a great
You know,
time
one of the
to
things, can you go to Every Noise at Once? If you look up Every Noise at Once on Google, it's like the Music Genome Project. You know how we have the Human Genome Project to, map out our DNA? This does it with all kinds of music. So let's say you like this kind of music, it puts all those in a cluster together in one group under it's just amazing. When you go to that website, I think it's
I'm getting there.
hold on.
I'm there.
It's such a cool thing to
So what
work
am I
with
doing here?
Pandora.
I can click on these things, or
Yeah, every one of these things, like, look, that's the genres, but like pan out.
it's not. Oh, I can just scroll.
Yeah,
Ah, I don't even know what Psych Chill is.
Right. So if you click on it, you'll find out.
I don't think I want to right now. I don't
Okay,
know.
not Psych Chill, no.
How about some Danish electro pop?
Yeah, listen to that shit. So
We
you
are
click on
totally
that.
gonna listen to some Danish electro pop right now, everybody.
Yo,
Yeah,
Joe Cool
let's
just
do
dropped
it.
off the face of the earth.
They won't let me click on it.
Hey, Rights, I was going to ask you, right? Human Genome Project is not just storage. They're breaking it down. So I was going to ask you, in what way does it really
I can't answer you right
Oh my God! Please turn it off.
Come on, Joe, give us some moves.
What was the question,
I was
bro?
in chat. I didn't even see that. So I'm looking at the chat. I didn't even know I was up there.
That's some baby making music right there.
The music, I didn't have a problem with.
Wow, that was pretty crazy.
Yes,
Hold on,
that is interesting, man.
Let me get back up here for everyone. I don't think you guys can probably read it very well, but
Yeah, everybody go check that thing out. It's
look at
just
this.
like,
Literally, look at this. Is
everything.
crazy. Look at this.
And when you
Colombian
find
rock, South
like if you
Africa,
go to
classic Danish.
if you go to a
German
genre that you
jazz.
like and find an artist that you like, you can see the artists around them that are similar and go explore that person.
Joe
if you
Cool,
haven't
give me an
heard of
artist that you
And
like.
you see it visually, so that's dope.
Give me an artist that you like, Joe Cool.
Post Malone,
Good choice.
love him, love that cat.
The one that does that Rockstar song, right?
He does, yes, he does. He also does that.
I put it.
The
I hit enter.
circles.
Nothing's happening. It didn't work, right, Crispy?
Oh, okay.
It's Wright's fault.
Your fault. It's not doing anything.
How is it that Joe
Yeah,
Cool's
right.
laugh falls off the edge of the earth every time? That's so cool.
I
Do you guys
don't
hear
know,
that
but
too?
somebody played it back to me. I thought it was fucking incredible.
It is. It sounds so cool.
I don't hear it on this end, but someone played it back to
So
me. I
cool,
couldn't
Joe
believe that shit. I'm like, that's what y'all hear?
Yeah.
That's
It's
crazy.
like you got snatched away by soul snatchers.
It is crazy. It's crazy. It's undescribable. That shit cracks me up. Oh, I only heard it once, but I thought like, wow. Because I've been hearing, why does Joe's laugh echo? I've been seeing that shit in chat for a while. I
Hey,
just
Captain
heard about a
Awesome.
week ago.
Use that website so you can find more HCDSM.
What is that? I didn't get the
That's a
joke.
I
little
just know SM. I don't know the rest.
You want to tell him, Captain?
Yeah, one time, me and News Now California, Wolfie Gladley were riding around to do some audits, and I tend to listen to more dance music nowadays. You know, techno and drum and bass and stuff. And
you guys
News Now
picture Phil.
California's in the back seat, and he's like, man, you really like that hardcore dick sucking music. And I said, yes. I said, I listen to it all the time. I make the wife listen to it all the time.
Oh, God, dick sucking music.
From what I heard, I was in there.
Who said that?
Wolfie,
Who said that?
News Now California
Was it
asked him,
Stock?
man, you really like that hardcore dick sucking music. And Captain
It's
Awesome,
Stock
without
that's
skipping a
one
beat,
of
was
the
like,
me,
yeah,
bro.
I make my wife listen to it. That's what
I'm
Wolfie
already a
told me.
fan, but damn.
That's messed up.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I like that nigga.
Yeah, it was a pretty epic day that day.
Now I can
He
attest
is
to
hysterical.
this music. I have ridden in the car a couple times with Rogue Nation, and I think both times I've ridden in the car, I've said out loud a request to change the music or turn it off.
You gotta let it happen, bro. It's a universal language.
Yeah, listen. That's the whole aura. You got to get the whole effect. Okay?
I probably dig it. I listen to some crazy music.
HCDSM.
When we're out there on that road, that experience, that's going to last a lifetime. And you know what you're going to remember?
It's rare. It's rare to go with it. Listen, man, I be listening to fucking Justin Bieber, that Intention shit, Billie Eilish. I had a
Pink
dream.
Floyd.
I got everything I wanted. Pink, I listen to some crazy shit, man. Black folks think I'm crazy as fuck.
I saw this funny poster or meme. It was Darth Vader and Boba Fett sitting in a living room looking at vinyl record albums, like flipping through them, and Darth Vader looks over and he says, "It's the best side of the moon, if you ask me."
That's pretty funny. It's the best side of the moon. That's pretty funny. Of course, there wouldn't be a dark side of the moon if you were in a spaceship and could travel around the moon.
Why would you say that? I disagree.
Because once you get to the other side, the light from that solar system's star would reflect off of that side of the moon. It would no longer be dark.
Yes.
From your
What?
Yes, but they're only 93 million miles from us, and we're only 250,000 miles from the moon. So the sun hits very hard on the bright side. Anything else is so far away that even if you went on that side, its light would be comparatively dark, in my opinion.
We're only a 250,000 miles from the moon?
If I was on the Death Star
204.
and I was on either any side of the moon that I wanted to be on, the dark side would be whatever side I'm not currently facing. That's what I'm saying.
I don't see how you believe that the only side that's lit up on the moon is the side facing the sun.
What?
The only side of the moon that can be lit up is the side facing the sun. And because we're tidally locked, we always see the same side.
Correct.
Somewhere, some flat earther's head is exploding right now.
But if you're on the Death Star and you move to a different perspective,
There it goes again.
Then once you change
Your laugh
perspective-
went around to the dark side of the moon.
Yes, but there's no only light there is the sun, just like the earth. It is night on the other side, right? It's not like another solar system makes it daytime.
There's light
it
on
would
the
be
other
the
side.
same for the moon.
That's my point. Darth
No,
Vader
it's just
would not be
the way
on
that
Earth. He would be
the
able to
moon is
go on whatever
positioned.
side he
There's a side that doesn't face the sun, right?
No, there's not.
Or
No,
that
that's not
doesn't
correct.
face the Earth. That doesn't face
There's
the
a
Earth.
side that doesn't face the Earth. So if
Right.
you're not on the Earth, the dark side of the moon would be somewhere else. It would be the other side, whatever side you're not facing.
Right.
So if you're Darth Vader and you're on the Death Star and you're moving all around space, there is no dark side of the moon because it changes.
Only
from
if you have a
It's
very
all-
large flashlight on that Death Star. Only
It's
if you
all
have a very large
relative.
flashlight.
Some
You
You're right,
think
I
about
am,
it,
you're right. I'm on the Death Star and we need a new conversation.
could say
the Earth
it's all
is
relative.
The same way, though. The Earth
It
is
is.
the same way. If I was able to travel around the Earth at night, as I am, and go to the opposite side of, it doesn't suddenly become light because I have a spaceship. It's still dark. The moon will be dark
If you have a
also.
spaceship, you're no longer on Earth, Joe.
Yes, and I go around and I look at Australia. If we're in the daytime, Australia's in the dark. I know that because I have friends over there and I watch it get dark over there.
I said if you're in a spaceship, you'd go to the other side. You can go to whatever side of the moon that you want. So the dark
Let's stay with the Earth. What if I was
There-
in a spaceship and I went on the other side of the Earth?
There are
What would I
31
see?
people watching.
You would still not. If you're in a spaceship, why would you not leave Earth? Why would you stay on Earth?
Before we go there, if I have one and I go to the other side of the Earth, is
Then
it
you would still
daytime over
only
there?
Then you would still only see the light side of the moon, and you would not see the dark side. That's correct.
No, I'm not talking about the moon.
Because you're still on Earth.
I'm talking about the Earth. What does the other side of the Earth look like?
I think Captain Awesome like really had the best answer for that. You said it the other day when we were talking about the flat earthers.
What did he say?
It doesn't really matter. You know, the flat earthers are concerned about what shape the planet is, and whenever they asked me, I'd always say, well, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter if it's flat or if it's round or if it's pear shaped. You're still a citizen of the country you live in. You're still subject to its laws, and your ass is still going to pay taxes. Doesn't matter if it's flat or round.
I agree with all those things, but if you can't tell, and you probably can, I love delving into the minutia of a thing.
Oh yeah, no, I like talking about astronomy and physics and all that too.
We can talk about a theoretical troll, and we just talk about would his feet pads be thick? He has to travel across rough terrain. I'm okay with shit like that.
Right.
Oh shit. Come back. I think one of my buddies might be in trouble. Give me 1 second. I gotta leave and come back though. I ain't gotta go nowhere. Hold on. I ain't gotta go nowhere. But I'm gonna freeze up.
I was gonna say, Joe, whenever you smoke, there's all kinds of interesting conversations, philosophically that we.
Yes. If you don't smoke, you do not know that. That's right.
But as far as like the debate goes, and people putting, time and effort on it, like some of these flat earthers are,
What if there was no such thing as a hypothetical situation?
Oh my goodness.
Speaking hypothetically,
of course. Goodness. Meaning what? Because I'm a fan of that fucking alternate
Think
universe.
about that.
Yes,
that's like saying, I remember when I used to be nostalgic.
Or I thought I was wrong once, but it turns out I was mistaken.
That's my favorite one.
There goes
That's
Joe's
right.
laugh into outer space again.
That's funny. Oh shit. Oh, here's one for you. Why do a motherfucker this has still be packing bowls? What sense
All right, I'm
does
gonna
that
pop
make?
the link up here one more time for all you guys in the chat. Click on.
Yeah, Leslie Sylvan, please join us.
If anyone wants
Leslie
to come in, and
Sylvan.
speak, I don't think this panel is going to go a whole lot longer, so you're running out of time. If you want to jump in here.
Yes, and as you guys can see, the conversation has digressed. All topics appear to be open.
Leslie Sylvan, please join us.
Oh, I just went back and looked at the private chats because I don't ever look at those. And I saw that I read yours, Rice Krispie, to get that link, but I had an unread one. And it was Eyes on the State, and it says, dude, fucking unmute me.
I know I saw that one. Leslie, you don't have to put your camera on. You can do that or that.
Hey, by the way, Rice Krispie, I did notice that your emoji picture is the thing I sent you guys. Had you seen that before I sent it in the group chat? Or
No, I think you broke that news to me.
yeah, that thing's funny. You guys all see that? Rice Krispie's picture is a cop that's afraid of his own shadow, and he's pointing his gun at his shadow.
I see it. I see it. About to shoot it.
Yeah. He's afraid of his own shadow.
That's how they sound to me, though, when they be talking about a woman. She was 17 feet away, but assuming if she wasn't a drug, she could have closed that distance in half of a second, 1.3 second. The reaction time for me to draw my gun is only 1 second. So I was, in order for my protection, I had to kill that 110-pound woman. To me, these cats are cowardly. I put him in a chokehold. He could have stole my gun. He could have slipped his cuffs. So yes, I killed him, but it was for officer safety.
Yeah, a taser wouldn't have taken her down.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how many times has that happened to either us or other auditors where there's 5 cops on scene but 2 or 3 of them need to put their attention to you and ask, what's in your hand, sir? Do you have any weapons on you? What are you doing? It's like, come on. You feel that threatened by one dude standing here? Come on.
That's a great one. I was out there the other
That's
day.
how
And
my cop watch started off today.
I was filming a fire a couple days ago, and I was talking to whoever the fuck was on the in my room, and one of the cops came over, like, move back, and after some back and forth, his friend stepped forward, and I was like, this is just boring. I'll have the same conversation with these knuckleheads, but look at everyone else. They're standing back on the sidewalk. I'm like, I don't already get mad. I don't give a fuck what everybody else is doing. And I put my hand in my pocket, and 2 of them immediately, get your hand out of your pocket. Immediately, because they've talked. That's an excuse. We can escalate here. And I escalated. Fuck you, nigga. Woo, woo, that type of bullshit. And because the other cops know me, I'd stay out of the 50 that were out there. Only 1 gave me shit, and 2 was like, get your hand out your pocket. It was instinctive. They weren't thinking.
They have to control the narrative. They have to control the situation. They have no other, that's what their training is. Yeah. They have the 6-month training, but damn well, half of it's firing range training, and God knows how much is situation training.
I think they need 6 months legal alone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything less than 6 months of legal. Just the legal aspect of it. That's not training, like physical fitness. It's not defensive driving, because they got to take that course. You don't want some guy driving around 120 miles an hour on the street. Ain't
right
driving course, So, I mean, you got to figure what they have in those 6 months. I have a book that my buddy went through the academy and he gave me. Very little law in it. Terry v. Ohio, Pennsylvania versus Mims, and a couple very little law. So
that's still so amazing.
And you think how quick they make new decisions, Rogue. When they start dropping memes and Turner v. Driver and so and so. These cops have to be familiar with these. They change. Like we have to be familiar with them. Thank God for cats like y'all. I hop in here, go in a room, and somebody is like, "Hey, by the way, the Fifth Circuit just made another decision on so and so," and them motherfuckers be like, "No, what it really says." Thank God for that. They need that.
Right.
Yeah, because most of them interpret it wrong anyway.
Right.
Or push it up in the wrong places.
I got a great story that has exactly what we're talking about, and it blows my mind. So I did a live stream like a month or 2 ago outside of Publix, and so
I got a call.
Whatever. I went and got all the body cam footage and all the calls and all that stuff. Oh, see you later, Joe. And in the very first deputy that responded, he was just sheriff's deputy, no rank. He tried to get my ID, and he asked a couple times, and then when he demanded it, I was like, listen, just get your supervisor. You don't know what you're talking about. But while he was demanding my ID, I quoted Florida Statute 901.151, and that's what I said to him. According to Florida,
is that so hard?
Blah, blah, blah. In the body cam recording that I hadn't heard until I just listened to it the other day, when his sergeant shows up, he says to the sergeant, "Yeah, he was refusing to ID," and this is exactly what he said. He said he's quoting 905 or something, and it's like,
yep, that's what he said.
So here's the point that I made to one of my friends who kind of doesn't agree with what I do, and I was explaining this story to him, and I said to him, if you're a cop, pretend you're a cop for a minute. What's the one thing you do most often? What's the one thing you do the most often as a cop? ID.
Pretend like you're a cop for 30 years?
No, but you ID people. Like the one thing you do the most is get people's identification. So wouldn't you think that's the one freaking statute that they should at least know by heart? I mean, if they're only gonna know one, shouldn't that be the fucking one?
It appears that, and I've heard this, that when you go to when you get the job, they tell you all that bullshit you learned in basic training, throw it out your mind, and you do what other people do. Listen to what your CO, your training officers tells you, and that appears to be true because they just follow what the cops do. Whatever theoretical shit they learn, assuming they've learned, you know, how not to kill people and shit, they throw that shit out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was disorderly, man. Yeah, we're gonna go get in some trouble.
The panel's talking about a bunch of music. Grunt, gotta tell you, Grunt Gunny, you're showing your age here, buddy. Popping out.
He say, "Where's Elvis?" You know, 6% of white people before now believe that racism was a problem. 12% believe that Elvis is still alive.
A big majority of Americans believe in angels.
You know what? I would believe in them, but I would not believe in some tiny fat white kid, you know, with curly hair.
That's a cherub. That's called a cherub. But they believe in like angels, the big white winged things. Yeah.
I would agree in angels, but that's why I think they said put no graven image to anything in heaven above, because it makes people believe that there's a winged dude, and when a person becomes of age and says no such thing occurs, he also makes the connection that says no such thing as angels. I say that angel was misidentified from the start, and they are real as fuck. If you believe in
the national animal, the national animal of Wales is a dragon, and the national animal of Scotland is a unicorn.
That's pretty cool. Not sure the relevance, but that's pretty cool.
Listen to this, because I'm dropping the knowledge on you right now. I'm out of here. Have a good night, guys.
All right, peace, man. Peace and love. In fact, I need to get out and charge up as well,
Later,
man. Maybe.
Yeah, it's.
I need to get out and charge up because dude on the way. He ain't 15 minutes away. We'll wrap.
All right, Will.
All right, so I just went to go get a beer and everyone left.
Yeah, I shoot him away with my trivial knowledge. That's
What
basically
happened?
what happened.
Where'd everyone go? Everyone get mad about angel talk?
I think so. I think that's exactly what happened. No. No.
Listen, thanks everybody for popping in like always. A lot of you guys are supporters every one of our nights, and we really appreciate all of you. And we'll catch you all on Thursday. I don't know. I'm not privy to what our topic is for Thursday yet. There'll be a post, so keep watching for a community post from the Boltec News Group. And there'll be probably some sort of interview or special guest on Thursday, I would imagine, like usual.
Maybe unicorn or a dragon.
Oh, unicorn or a dragon. All right, guys. We'll catch you all on the next one.
Later.